Hi, this is Fred, FR5ED. The 5 is silent. Here with a beer review. I went to a tasting the other night. The Altamont Springs ABC had a craft beer tasting for $10. You got to taste 60 plus different beers, and you got a free commemorative glass. Well, the glass was this little sample shot size glass. So, yeah, I guess I was expecting something larger, but that's okay. And that's the glass you used as you went around and sampled everything. And out of whatever number there were, if there were truly 60 plus, there were probably 5 or 6 that I thought were really, and again, my palate is kind of narrowly focused on IPAs, double IPAs, as well as stouts and imperial stouts. That's kind of where I land. So anyway, there were a lot of representation there that I would not consider craft breweries or craft products. And I won't get into naming names, but there was cider there, hard cider. There were definitely some non-craft brewery beers represented, but there was also Cigar City. There was Shipyard. Got my free Shipyard shirt for buying another one I'll be reviewing soon. But I did get to talk to 3 Cicerones who were there representing, either distributorships or beers. One was from Lucas from Cigar City as a Cicerone. Another one was Ian, from whom I tasted this and bought this one you're going to see. And then the third one was the Terrapin rep, and I can't remember his name. Anyway, that all aside, it was worth the $10 because I got to talk to 3 Cicerones and pick their brains. Got to sample the ones I liked frequently and often. Anyway, here you go. This is Lagunitas Cappuccino Stout, and it's a seasonal offering from Lagunitas. I have not had anything yet from Lagunitas I didn't like. This is limited release. It's ale, it's either a stout if you listen to Rate Beer, or it's an imperial stout if you look at Beer Advocate. So anyway, they call it an ale brewed with coffee. From Sebastopol's own Hardcore Coffee. Anyway, the label looks like that. It is seasonal. Back in 2007 it was at 8.3%. In 2008 it was 8.29. In 2009 it was 9.26. Dropped back down in 2010 to 8.8, and now this year it's back up to 9.26 ABV. Their commercial description says, "Our original stout brewed with real hardcore coffee from Sebastopol." So anyway, it's only 29 IBUs, so that doesn't promise to be that bitter at all. And it was rated a 96 in style and a 96 overall on Rate Beer, and that's after 1,272 reviews. On Beer Advocate, it rated an 87 after 1,712 reviews, pardon me. But the brothers rated it a 96, or world class. So go figure. Enough talk. How about a little action? Alright, I'm going to open this. This is a 22 ounce, somewhere it'll say 22 ounces on here, I'm sure. 1 pint, 6 ounces. That's 22. So, let's give it a pour. Oh my, surprise, surprise, it's dark. Actually, it's not as dark as you might think for stout. It looks, coming out of the bottle, looks a little light for stout, perhaps. And let's take a look. It's hard to... Yeah, you can actually, it's a little hazy, but you can actually get some light through there, and it's a brownish black, so it's not as heavy and dark as a lot of stouts. I'm going to just warm it up a little bit here. Didn't get much... Oh, that smells good. Didn't get much head on there. Of course, I poured it very gingerly. Let's see what kind of lacing we get. Remember, it is 9.26%. You get some lacing there, but the aroma. You can smell the coffee, but you can also smell orangey citrus. I mean, it must be the hops coming through there, and yet it's only, 29 IBUs. But I'm surprised I'm getting that much. Usually with a stout, especially a coffee style stout, you're going to smell the dark roasted malts, the coffee, and forget trying to smell any of the hops. That's almost like a citrusy coffee smell with the dark roasted malts kind of in the background. That's Interesting. Let's give that a taste. Very smooth and balanced. Now, the coffee was there. I'm trying to see what's left on the palate. Kind of a dark chocolate with some coffee in there. I kind of jumped to the end, the finish. Let's go back and see what it actually tastes like initially on the palate. There's some sweetness, but not much. Some imperial stouts definitely have, more sweetness than this. This is on the drier side, but there's some sweetness there. You're definitely getting the toasty, roasty, dark roasted malts in there, and you can taste the coffee. You can definitely taste the coffee, but sometimes when you taste a stout that's been infused or where they've put coffee beans in the fermenter, you get, to me, a little too much coffee. If I want to taste coffee, I'll have a cup of coffee, and that's another whole story. But this is like it's a spice. It's not a main course. It's added as an accent and not as a major flavor, I think. What's interesting, though, when I go to put my nose in here to take a sip, the first thing I smell is orange, is citrus. Interesting. That is a very delightful blend of aromas and flavors. An unexpected aroma of orangey citrus, a nice subdued aroma and flavor of the coffee. So even though it says cappuccino stout, it doesn't scream, coffee with some beer in there. And it's smooth. It's not too bitter. There's enough bitterness to keep my attention. But very, very complex and wonderful. I highly recommend it. So that is Lagunitas Cappuccino Stout. And once again, I have yet to find a Lagunitas that I didn't like a lot. So this is Fred. You know it. FR5ED. Over and out.